It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the sales cardiologist, and we help you make more sales with less effort. And I'm so just excited today because we're going to be answering one of the top 5 questions, I'll say, one of the top 5 questions out there, which is, what are the right questions to ask in order to move the prospect to action? Now, I get it. As you're listening right now, you might be thinking, Shay, is it possible to train and build and have a 7-figure sales team? And the answer is absolutely, unequivocally yes. The answer is yes. You can do this. Now, I'm going to be teaching in this particular episode, identifying needs, asking the right questions. Jot that down in your notes. Identifying needs, asking the right questions. And here's the question to ask you. This is a question for you. Do you know exactly what to say in order to move your prospect to action? Now, if you know, that's fine. But have you taught your team? And if you are the team, then pay very close attention because this is a money episode. I mean, in all seriousness, you get better at teaching your team on how to ask questions, or you get better yourself at asking questions, and guess what? Well, you make more sales. You generate more revenue. You serve more people. You make a bigger difference. Your company grows. You build your 7-figure sales team. They go do the same, and now you're generating income without your labor. Jot that down in your notes. Generate income without my labor. Generate income without my labor. And you can do that when you train your 7-figure sales team, and you can 100% do that when you learn how to identify needs and ask the right questions. That's what this episode is going to be all about, and that's the question to ask today. Now, let me do 2 things. First, let me make sure that we have everything that we need right here, because we're going to do that. I'm going to do that right this very second. I'm going to go check just to make sure that I have it there. Okay, that's up. Now I'm going to go over here and double check. The topic today is how to train your sales team, how to ask powerful questions to identify customer needs. And why do you want to do that? Because questions steer focus. And we get a little bit better asking questions, and a little bit better asking questions, and a little bit better asking questions, and we make more sales. Now, here's something that I want you to know. The 80%, that's 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 salespeople are not prepared to ask the right questions, or they don't have a list carefully phrased out to ask the right questions before their presentation. Okay, hear me. 80%. Now, you may not be in that 80%. Perhaps you're in the top 20%. Congratulations, you can still benefit. But if you're looking for a way to really make more sales with less effort, if you're looking for a topic to train your team, then in this episode, I'm going to teach closed questions, very specific ones that you can use. But more importantly, I'm also going to teach you open questions, strategic and tactical questions. We will talk about questions to ask to really get more information without being salesy, without coming across as pushy. And I know just the fact that you're here, that you showed up. Congratulations that you're even here. It says that you're already a person that knows you have the potential inside of you to perform at such a higher level. You know that because you're here. I mean, only winners show up for this particular episode. Only champions show up for this episode. So congratulations, welcome, come on into this very special VIP session. Now, I'm going to share some questions today that you can ask to actually determine the outcome that the prospect is looking to get. So we're going to actually put ourselves in the prospect's shoes, if you will, and we're going to be able to ask the right questions to understand what their outcomes. And then I've identified a few power questions. Now, like, imagine for a moment right now that you and I were having a conversation. You were training your 7-figure sales team. I was just sitting there. I was there watching, and you were teaching on how to identify customer needs. What are the right questions to ask? After you get past some of the few questions, which is, who have you used in the past? Why was it important? Who's the decision maker? Maybe some of you ask questions such as, what's the reason you decided to meet with me today? Whatever the question is, how would you go over and beyond that? Pay close attention, Because if you knew exactly what to say to move your prospect to action, you would do it, right? We would all do it. Now look, you may have missed the last episode because this is like episode number 5 of 8. And if you did, just hit the live button, hit the live button. And if you're an entrepreneur right now and you just want to spotlight your company, I'm going to take a moment because here's why I'm going to spotlight your company. Because you're here to learn how to ask questions. And when you ask questions, you'll be more productive. You'll be more positive, you'll be more creative, and you can get what you want when you want it. And that's going to be key. That's going to be key. So if you're just joining right now, look below, hit the share button, and go ahead and enter your name. Enter your company's name. Enter the problem that you solve. Like right now, just hit the share button, enter your company's name, enter your name, enter the problem that you solve, and at the end of that, just put ask the right questions. Hashtag sales courage. I'm going to release something very special to you. Just go ahead and hit that now. Ask the right questions. Hashtag sales courage. Go ahead and hit the share button. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me make sure I have everything that I need here, that it's all lined up, because you might be wondering, Shay, why do I have to ask questions? Well, one of the reasons is that winners always find a way to win. And 90% of all questions asked by salespeople during the average call are one particular type. Do you know what they are? Closed questions. So winners find a way to ask open questions, strategic questions, tactical questions. Winners always find a way. The sales millionaires, they use their own personal question strategy based on open question techniques. And that's something that we're going to share with you. That's something that we're going to talk about. That's something that's near and dear to me. And we're going to start on this side with closed questions. Now, first, I want you to have this one distinction that I love to share, and that is your greatest potential in your business exists in your sales team. Let me say that again. Your greatest potential in your business exists in your sales team. So imagine there's a sales team there, and it's unlimited revenue there. You can only do so much by yourself, but there's a sales team. And so once we train your 7-figure sales team and they're generating income, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Now look, sales superstars, they all hold one belief, and that is to always be helping. Always be helping. Now, even if you're listening right now, you're like, Shay, I don't even know if I can afford a sales team. I was having a conversation. I think I shared this on the episode. And the person was sharing with me that they are just not in a position right now to bring on a salesperson. And it was a financial need. So they have a virtual assistant. I was suggesting they get a salesperson. And so I walked them through this because you might be like them. Now, don't worry. We're going to get to this because good questions are far more difficult than good answers. I'm going to talk about that. Good questions, they're far more difficult than good answers. It's difficult to ask the right question. Folks can give answers, and I don't want you winging anymore. But let's just take a step back first. Don't worry, we got some great content here that I'm going to get to, but let's just say for a moment, you, the one-person sales team, if you don't have a 7-figure sales team, let's say you are that person, and maybe you haven't cracked the 7-figure barrier yet, but you cracked the 6-figure barrier at the bottom. You're doing about $10K a month. Income you're paying yourself. About $120,000, right? About $120,000. And you say, I cannot afford a sales team. But let's say you bring on a salesperson. You pay them 100% commission. If you need to know how to hire a salesperson, look, don't worry. If you need to know how to hire a salesperson, hit the subscribe button, okay? Let's make sure you get the previous episode. I think, about 6 lessons on how to recruit. But let's just say you go hire one. And that person comes aboard in the first month. You train them. You train your 7-figure sales team, and they generate $10,000. So now, you generated $10,000. Your salesperson generated $10,000. Now you're at $20,000 total. Simple math. Someone does exactly what you're doing, and it's just one person. And you decide that you're going to pay them a 20% commission. So you pay out $2,000. 20% of $10,000 is $2,000. You're telling me you can't afford a salesperson, right? I mean, not you personally, but the person I'm chatting with, and I'm writing this on a piece of paper while I'm talking to them. We're face-to-face, eye-to-eye contact. And I said, 10K you, 10K your salesperson, 20K total. You pay them 18K. You pay them $2,000, and you got $18K profit that goes into your bank account. Now, here's why that's so significant. $18,000. You got $8,000 extra. That's one person. And here's the cool part. While you were out prospecting and selling one account, the other person was doing the exact same thing. So let's say every hour you work, there was another hour served. And let's just say 1 month you decide you're going to take off for the month. Your salesperson continues to work. They're producing about $10,000 per month, let's say. They're working. You're at the beach. Yeah, you're at the beach. It's a beautiful time to be at the beach. You're out there sitting there. You have your headset on. You listen to your Audible books. You got Shay Brown Sales Swagger. That's what you're listening to right now. All right. And you're listening there and you're drinking whatever your favorite drink is. And the salesperson is generating income. You leave the beach. You go hang out with your family. You go hang out with your son, maybe at their baseball game. Maybe you're with your daughter at piano lessons. Perhaps you're just at the gym. You're taking care of yourself. And there's still money coming in. The point I want to make is that you can build your 7-figure sales team. And I'm committed to helping 10,000 business owners over the next year really build a 7-figure sales team. And I want to invite you to be on this journey, on this new paradigm shift. That's what I'm inviting you. So let's go ahead and share, if we can, what we're going to talk about today. Because now you have a sales team. You and I, we're going to work together. We're going to do this. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so let me make sure you can hear me. If you're out there right now and you're like, Shay, we can hear you, do me a favor if you would. Just do me a favor. Say, Shay, we can hear you, because sometimes I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can even see me. I really don't know, but I'm trusting you can. So just hit the share button and say, Shay, we can see you. Okay, let me go into the 3 points that we're going to make today. First, I'm going to start with closed questions. And closed questions are those questions you ask that they just give a direct answer. And I'm not going to teach you the question yet, although I will share it over here. I've got some questions, and you can decide if they're closed or open. What I want to give you is the formula. You see, at Team PPI, we believe in structure. We believe in systems. We believe in sequences. We believe in sustainable revenue when you use sales scripts. Those are 5 of the top S's. And so what I'm going to do now is give you a structure and a system. Closed questions mean you ask a question and they have to give you an answer. Here are a couple of ways to start off. Are you interested in generating revenue? See, that's a yes or no question. Do you have a 7-figure sales team? Now, you fill in the blank on your side, but I want you to jot these down in your notes. Could you use an extra $50,000 a month to your company's top line revenue without your labor? See, that's the benefit of a sales team. And if you don't like to sell, if you don't want to sell, I'm going to say this. If you don't want to sell, I suggest you hire someone that does. If you don't like selling, then you hire someone that does. So could you use a sales team to generate revenue without your labor? See, that's the key. Your labor is not involved. These are closed questions. Why do you ask questions? Because questions, they steer the focus of where you're going. It has been said that powerful people ask powerful questions. And that's true. So on a scale of 1 to 10, baseline strategy, if you were ranking yourself right now, 1 meaning, Shay, I'm okay with asking questions because I naturally can pop it off my head, or so maybe you are a 10, you're really good at it. Or maybe you're a 1, you're like, I could be better. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, no matter where you are. So your baseline is everything you're doing today to produce the results you produce today on a monthly basis. Let's say you gave yourself a 5 or a 6 or a 7. What would it mean if you went up 1 notch from a 5 to a 6, or a 6 to a 7, or a 10 to a 15 off the scale? What would it mean to your income? Could you use a sales team to generate revenue without your labor? I think the answer to that question is yes. I love doing that. I love doing that. There's no trash can over there, by the way, but I love doing it. Would you have an interest in blank? Will you agree to meet with me if I can share with you how you can generate extra income. See, close questions. Can you do me a favor? And make sure that when you arrive, you've already read the material I've sent you. You see how those are closed-ended questions? Now, there's a lot of steps in the sales process, but I want to step back right now and I want to share just a few. So we're going to talk about closed questions, and then I'm going to come over here and give you some open questions, and then I'm going to take you advanced. We're going to go to the strategic and tactical questions, and then questions to get further information, and then I have some outcomes. I mean, look, this is your moment. This is your time. As you're there right now and you're watching, and again, welcome right now. We're talking about how to train your 7-figure sales team, or you, if you are the team right now, how to identify customer needs and ask the right questions. Dr. Donald J. Moyne often says, and I found this to be true. Jot this in your notes. This is a money idea. Do they have a green? They took up all the, let's just say, I'm going to give you a money idea. So you might want to jot this one down in your notes. This is a bonus. This is a bonus. We're in bonus. Money idea. Dr. Moyne says that the fastest, easiest way to persuade or influence someone is to find out what they want and then give it to them. I'm going to say that a little slower because this is a money idea. It's one of those $50,000 ideas. If you get just this one idea, I believe between now and the end of your selling career, you could truly earn yourself an extra $50,000 over and beyond what you would have earned if you didn't have it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that incredible? Like, isn't that exciting? Here's the idea again. Don't miss it. Here it is. The fastest, easiest way to persuade and influence someone is to find out what they want. That's right. And give it to them. So you can serve them at a much higher level. So you can live the quality of life that you want. So you can earn the money that you want. So you can get the health care that your family needs, or eat the right foods, or take care of yourself, or serve your community, or build a school, and just do so much. So let's go out there. Let's ask the right questions. Let's teach our team to do that. I'm going to do that in the time that I have. What would it mean to you if you earned an extra $10,000 per month? Goes into your personal income for the rest of your life as a result of you being part of this conversation this morning, this evening, tonight, whatever time it is for you. It's going to be cool. Okay, I said I got to show you the highlights, don't I? Okay, let me show you a highlight. Let's go to a highlight here, and then I'm going to go to open-end questions. I was talking about closed-end questions because closed questions can be used to control the conversation. They can even be used as a precondition, so they can get the person saying yes early on. And the likelihood of them saying yes and saying yes 2 times or 3 times is more applicable when you are using closed questions. Just want to give that point. Now let me give you the highlights if I can. I thought I clicked the button, but oh, there it goes. Okay. I just want to make sure. Whereas open questions simply encourage the client to open up and provide relevant information, which we're going to get to. So why is that important? Highlight number 1 is you've got to really listen to your prospect. The majority of lost sales opportunities happen because of a salesperson's failure to uncover the prospect's specific needs. Let me say that again. The majority of lost sales opportunity, the majority, that's over 75%, happen because of the salesperson's failure to really uncover the prospect's biggest needs. Whereas with open-end questions, it allows us to get more information so we can listen, interpret, and then be able to ask additional questions to get clarity. Jot this in your notes. People buy clarity. Because a confused mind, it rarely buys. A confused mind rarely buys. So we have to make sure in our conversation, not only asking closed questions, but we've got to come prepared with some open questions because there's $10,000 or more on the line. Our sales team will be doing this. We won't be there. We're going to be at the beach, you and I. Yes, we are. We're going to be at the beach. Isn't that cool? Okay. I love doing that. Open questions. Who, what, where? Who was involved? What were they doing? And where were you looking to go to? So who did you work with in the past and why? Please explain why you decided to make the decision that you made last time. Do you mind taking a moment, if you will, and talk about which product or which problem is most important to you? And how would you have interest in doing it? So if you and I were having a conversation and we were chatting and I've got to really listen, because 80% of sales folks lose the opportunity because of what? That's right. They fail to uncover the need of their prospect. And so this is a way to do a deeper dive into the questions. So who have you worked with in the past and why? See, that's a closed, open-end question. If you were to work with us, can you share with me, why would you take the step? If you were to build a 7-figure sales team, if you were right now to take a step and say, you know what, Shay, I'm hearing what Team PPI is doing. I need a sales team. I don't like to sell. Okay, then hire someone who does. Get the skills, work with us, and then use this material as train-the-trainer content. Okay, and I invite your team to any of our trainings. I know how to sell. I'm a top producer. I'm just listening in because I'm sharpening my skills. You know, they always say iron sharpens iron. Duh. You put two great people together, they're only going to get better, but that's not the case. The case is, how do you duplicate what you're doing? The case is, how do you generate your 10K and then train someone else to generate that 10K and then duplicate your efforts over and over and over again? See, how would you train your 7-figure sales team to ask the right question? What would you tell them to say to move the prospect to action, and why? See, we're working with open-end questions. Why haven't you hired a salesperson now? I'm curious. You can always put that in front of it. That's like a little pre-frame. That's a little advanced. We'll come back to language patterns. Hopefully, if you hit the subscribe button, you'll get that episode. Hopefully, you hit the share button below. You're going to share your name. You're going to share what you do and put hashtag sales courage. I've got a gift. Some of you are just texting in right now and you're getting the gift. You're texting revenue to that number. You're going to get your gift, which is really cool. So now you have closed questions. You have open questions. Shay, this is a little bit advanced. I know to really listen. I get that. And I feel you. But we've got a little more to share in this conversation. And why am I giving you this much content? Any one of these sections could be just a separate training on its own. And we have training on its own, and why. And I'm going to encourage you. Look below. I'm going to encourage you. Join this conversation. Be a part of this movement of sales professionals, of business owners, of authors or speakers or coaches or trainers who don't want to do all the selling themselves. They're ready to generate revenue without their labor. They know that success is a team sport. Look below. Follow those instructions. Get the details. Use this as train-the-trainer content. Let's go out and make a difference together. Let's all build this. Okay, now I'm going to get into the tactical. Woo! There's some good stuff here. Let me go ahead and share, because I talked about open-ended questions. I shared how open-ended questions simply encourage the client to open up and provide information relevant to the discussion. Yes, we talked about that. That's important. So now we're going to use open-ended questions like tell me who, tell me when. We're going to use what's called leading questions. Jot that in your notes. Please put that in your notes. I'm going to leave it there for a second. We're going to ask leading questions. It's called the tell me phrase. Tell me who. Tell me when. Tell me how. Tell me why. This is a personal choice and should only be used when you feel the other person will be comfortable with such leading language. Don't use this for bad. Use this for good. I'm going to put this here just so you have it. Tell me questions. leading language. I think I said asking language. Okay, you have that there. I want you to have this for your notes because it's possible that maybe you've never been in this type of conversation. And I wanted to stop for a few minutes. I wanted to share with you how you can train your 7-figure sales team. I was working with someone, and this was recently, and they indicated that their sales cycle was longer than it should be. Now, they do something in telecommunications, so it's a little bit different, but it's a lot longer. And so I asked them this question, which I would ask you if you and I are working one-on-one. What are the top 5 powerful questions that you ask throughout your presentation continuously? And you know what they said? That's right. They had that blank look on their face. That stare. Maybe you get that stare too, like, I don't know. It depends, Shay. So I walked them through what I'm going to share with you. It made a difference. They didn't get that particular deal. But he checked back in with me, and he shared with me that he feels much more comfortable and deals moving along faster. Now, I don't know if it's just because he's asking questions, because he's been through this training that I'm kind of sharing with you or giving you a sneak preview into. But I know this for sure. If he can do it, you can do it. You can ask the right questions to move your prospect to action. You can ask the right questions to have shorter conversations. You can ask the right question to identify your customer needs. You can do this. You can do this. Okay. Did I already show you asking leading questions? Hope I did that. Okay. Strategic and tactical questions. We're going to use leading questions. Let me make sure I show that to you. We're going to use leading questions. And tactical questions, they're excellent in gaining information that you might need at a later stage to prepare and have a proposal ready. Strategic questions tell you how the other person feels. So you got tactical questions that help you later on so you can uncover their needs. And then you have strategic questions that kind of understand what your prospect is feeling. Because some folks need to hear you, some folks need to feel you, and some folks need to kind of see where you are going. So we have to ask questions because at another episode, I don't know if you got that episode, we talked about the personality-based sales and what questions or how to deal with different personality types, how to deal with different client types. I don't have time to go back into that, so I really hope you join the conversation. I hope you follow the instructions below. I hope you hit the share button, and I hope you tell me who you are, and maybe I'll send that to you. That'll be my gift. If you're watching right now, if you got a hold of this and you can, hit the share button. Let me know that you're out there. Okay, tactical, strategic questions. Go ahead and jot these down in your notes. Hope you can see this. I know my handwriting is not the best, but I wanted to put this together for you, the entrepreneur, for you, the business owner, for you, the person that has a big, big heart and you want to make a difference. I want to make your life easier. You want more sales with less effort, and I want to be part of that journey. So let's talk about this. Here's one question we have here. How have you been since we last met? Great question. Very tactical, strategic, but more strategic. Now, as I go through these, see which ones are strategic, which ones are tactical. Have things changed since your last marketing campaign? Have things changed since your last seminar you attended? I was talking to someone, they said they're reading a book right now. They're reading one of, not going to say my mentor's books, but he is a mentor to me, at least virtually he's a mentor. I'm not going to mention his name. You would know who this huge giant is. And we were having a conversation. And they were buying the book, which they should, online. I listen to Audible books. I love books. And there was going to be an investment to work with me. And I said, well, there's an investment if you work with me, and there's an investment if you don't work with me. The investment you work with me is this. And some of you might see the link below, and there is an investment. I said, but there's also an investment if you don't work with me. It's all the lost opportunities you're going to miss out on. And so when we got together, one of the questions I asked, this says, have things changed since your last marketing campaign? You fill in the blank for the blank here. I said, have things changed since you read XYZ book? If so, share with me how. Okay, what do you see? Okay, you got the visual there. What do you see as your competitor's strengths? So if you and I were sitting down, we're working, and you're a coach, or you're a speaker, or you're an author, and you want to get on more stages, you want to get on more platforms, you're talking to convention people, you're trying to build these strategic alliances, you're trying to build these power partnerships, I might ask, what do you see as your competitor's strengths? So we know what those are, and we compare them to where you are. What would happen if you really built your 7-figure sales team? What would happen if you were able to generate an extra $10,000 per month? You were never there. What would happen if you paid out $2,000 and you had an extra $8,000 going into your pocket month after month after month? What would happen? I'm just curious. I'm just asking. Why is that so important to you? I was talking to someone, and they kind of shared with me. We were talking to them about our business makeover, our extreme business makeover. And it's one of our products where folks come in for 3 full days, and we have an opportunity to work on their business from a perspective of branding, marketing, automation, and sales. 3 days, 72 hours. It's incredible. And the person was sharing with me how they wanted to hold on to their brand and hold on to their product, which we're okay with. You don't have to change your brand. You don't have to change your product. But here's the question I asked, because it was a strategic question, and I knew that, not that was going to get me the deal, but move me forward. I said, why is it so important to you to keep your existing brand and product? You know what they shared? Because it feels good to them. It feels right. And they said, if I have the automation piece, then I can get my brand in front of more people. That was the message. What would happen if I didn't know that question? How do you decide which person you're going to use? I think that's, jot this in your notes, a reasonable question at a reasonable time. A reasonable request at a reasonable time. A reasonable request. How do you decide? Look, I'm curious. You're considering coming in for our 3-day makeover. You're considering coming in for our content bunker day. You want to have your own digital academy. How do you make those decisions and choose who you're going to work with? And why would you do it? Oh, Shay, you're a little advanced. You saw the why. Good job. And you see this over here. Shay, I see the how, have, what, why, how, what. I'm getting, Shay. I'm following you. I know where you're going. Glad you're here. What is your decision-making process? Please share that with me. Now, I'm giving you some questions this evening because I want you to have them. I'm giving them to you because I know what it's going to do for you. But some of you are thinking, Shay, I need to have some outcomes. Now, I had a couple of highlights here. Let me make sure that I have the highlights. I shared a couple of highlights here that I wanted you to have, which you have right there in front of you. And so now we have to move down, and we're going to think of some powerful questions that we can ask. And we're going to be a little more effective. Now, why is that? Because effective questions, they help you connect with your clients in a more meaningful way. They help you, work with your team more effectively. They help you really gather better information. When you ask powerful, effective, value questions, you persuade people, and at the end of the day, you plant your ideas on their head. Can they see me? Oh, great, you can see me. They plant your ideas on their head. Now, I'm going to share powerful questions. Then I have 2 bonuses here. Look, hear me, please. Your greatest potential in business exists in your sales team. We've got to train your sales team, not just a team, your 7-figure sales team. That's $1 million. That means if you just get to the bottom of the bottom, you're at $1 million. Some of you can far exceed that. But in order to identify customer needs, we've got to ask the right questions, because we understand that good questions are far more difficult than good answers. Yeah, indeed. I want you to hold that point. I want you to know that. Okay, I got one more bullet. Let me just shh. Oh, man, I'm taking this thing off. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I know you're going to have a hard time reading that, but don't worry. I will help you with that. This was our, I should keep this actually. This was our idea on why you should have a sales team. You 10K, the salesperson 10K, you make $20,000, you pay them $2,000, you got $18,000. Extra $8,000? What would you do with the money if you had it anyway? Like seriously, if you had an extra $8,000, let's get to this in a minute. If you had an extra $8,000 right now, and it was coming to your bank account month after month after month after month, how would your life be different? Like, what would you do with the money? I don't know, Shay. Good question. What seems to be what you're looking for? Powerful question. What do you make of blank? What do you make of your number one challenge to build your 7-figure sales team? Got it, Shay. The what? Got it. What concerns you most about working with Team PPI? Please share. What concerns you most about making sure the person who represents your company does it in a way of excellence? What concerns you most about slowing down to work with a team to speed up with the revenue? What concerns you most? My favorite, and that's you down here. You're smiling. You're dancing, baby. You're dancing all the way to the bank. They should have put money down there. They should have put money down here. This person, they're dancing all the way to the bank because they have the distinction of asking the right questions. What's holding you back from making a decision today? What's holding you back in your business that's preventing you from generating additional revenue? What's holding you back from having sales affiliates as part of your 7-figure sales team? What's holding you back from having a sales ambassador program where folks can go out on your behalf and serve folks, extend your brand, extend your message, take your solutions to the world? What's holding you back? I don't know what the answer is. But I do know that I'm here to help, and I want to help. I want you to look below, and there's a way that you and I can stay in this conversation, and I can help. And I want to do that. I want us to be able to work together. Okay, now you got some powerful questions. Let's see what we have here. Okay. One of the things that I'm going to suggest, have any water? Oh, excuse me. One of the things that I suggest is that you plan out your questions ahead of time. Because when you can identify issues, you can get the answers you're looking for. You don't have to wing it. You don't have to shoot from the hip. You don't have to shoot from the lip. You can be continuously, spontaneously brilliant. Oops, hit the wrong button. There we go. So let's talk about outcomes and further information. These are additional questions that you can ask. I'm so glad you're here. You're here at Revenue Talks. You're here at How to Train Your 7-Figure Sales Team. You're here to learn how to identify needs by asking the right questions. Yes, 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 you can do this. All right, so let's go to outcomes. Let's go to outcomes. Love it. I'm excited. I'm juiced. I mean, you don't know how I couldn't wait to share this with you. You just don't know, but I know what it'll do for you. I know what it'll do for your team. I believe it. Okay, outcomes. How do you want blank to turn out? So once you have a 7-figure sales team, how do you want your team to turn out? How do you want your revenue to turn out? How do you want your revenue to grow? That's a question. What do you want most? What is your biggest need in regards to blank? Are you sure building a 7-figure sales team is for you? Do you want a 7-figure sales team? Could you use a team to generate income without your labor? Would you be interested in understanding how you can do that and not have to do the training? Will you take the first step, build your team, and make more sales with less effort? Over and over and over again. See, closed questions, open questions, strategic, tactical. You've got this thing. You've got this thing. Why? Strategic, how they feel. Tactical, more information to help you in the process. I want you to know the difference of those two. If I see you at a future event and you walk up to me, you say, "Hey, Shay." Or maybe you don't say that, but you say, "It's a great day, Shay." And I say, "It's a great day" back to you. You say, "Shay, I want to tell you something." And I say, "What?" Strategic questions, tactical questions. Strategic questions, Shay, are questions that help me understand how my prospect feels. Tactical questions, Shay, are questions that help me further get information for my proposal and to keep the conversation going. Ta-da! I'll say, "You got it." You say, "Shay, I could go to close and opening questions, but I'm not going to go there because I've studied this. I'm ready." Okay, if you do blank, how will it affect your business? If you build a 7-figure sales team, and they're able to ask the right questions, identify the right needs, move the prospect to ask action? How will that affect your business? How will that affect your relationships? How will that affect your bank account? How would that affect your health? How would that affect your community? How would that affect your standard of living if you raise your standard? Now, I'm asking the question because I want to know, what outcome are you looking for? See, I want to take you there. I want you to see what's possible. So if you do this, you build this team, you build this company, you take it to a entirely another level, you just reach more people. If you could do this, how will it affect you, not me? I'm just curious. I think it's a reasonable question. I think it's a reasonable time. Okay, further information. I want to share this with you because this is important. What do you mean by blank? Now, sometimes you need some further clarification, right? And so sometimes you just need to know, to get to the takeaways, sometimes you just need to know when you're asking for further clarification, you need some additional information that can help you now further understand what someone has already done or what they're looking to resolve. So you're looking for a different meaning. So as I'm talking through this right now, and we're talking about further information, I want you to perfect your listening skills. I want you to listen so you understand which one of these fundamental principles as it relates to questioning. And I'm going to tell you right now, I just wish back in 2004, someone had laid this out for me, just like this. I mean, I'm giving you what the sales millionaires are doing. Those are the folks in the top 0.5% in the sales industry. They earn over $500,000 a year in commission sales. They understand this. I've been studying them. I've been using it in my own business. And now I share it with you as well. And it's possible that you can do this. It's possible you can train your 7-figure sales team. It's possible you can do this. And I believe it's possible for you. But you got to perfect your listening skills, and you got to intellectually know to do this, and then you have to apply it in your business. Let me say that again. First, I want you to intellectually understand what we're sharing here, and then I want you to apply it, and then I want you to apply it and train your team to apply it. Please, train your team. And I want you to use questions at the end of the day to uncover your client's needs. I'll say it again what Dr. Moynihan said. The fastest, easiest way to persuade and influence someone is find out what they want and then give it to them. But you've got to listen so you can uncover their needs and then ask the right questions. And asking good questions is productive, it's positive, it's creative, and it can get you what you want. Most folks, they believe this to be true. They really do. And yet, as I listen to sales conversations, as I attend sales conversations, as I speak to sales folks, as I train, as I'm doing and share, and haven't done this for 12 years, all the time, full time. Let me say it again, all the time, full time. What I've learned is that they don't do it. They know you need to ask more questions, yet they don't do it. How do I know that? Because I was one of them as well. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I mean, I probably went 3, 4, 5 years. And I was studying this, intellectually knew some of it, but yet in a pressure situation, I didn't know it on a subconscious level. And I kept gravitating back to what felt comfortable for me. And sometimes it would land, and sometimes it wouldn't. And sometimes I asked the right questions, and sometimes I wouldn't. So I slowed down. I took some time to really understand closed questions versus open questions versus strategic and tactical questions, so I could ask the powerful ones, understand the outcomes, and then ask for further information. Look, I'm giving to you the best of the best ideas that I know. It's going to help you today. Whether you decide to work with our company or not, in all seriousness, you do this, and my promise to you is you will make more sales with less effort. So what do you mean by you'll make more sales when I ask more questions? Tell me more about why you haven't done this yet. Tell me more about why you agreed to meet today. Tell me more about why you're looking for more income without your labor. Share with me what you're doing. Tell me more about why you have or have not taken the steps. What's holding you back? Further information. Further information. See, you can do this. You've got the tools. You've got the secret. This is you. You're ready. What else would you like to know? What else would you like to know? Like, what else would you like to know other than you can do this? This is possible. And selling is really fun. It's easy. It's effortless when you have a system and a structure like this. You can ask the right questions. You don't have to be salesy. You don't have to persuade. You don't have to influence. You only have to identify your customer's need. And that's the fastest, easy way to persuade someone is to identify your customer needs and then give them what they want. You can do that. The takeaway I want you to have, if there was one takeaway, you said, Shay, what's the one takeaway today? The takeaway is ask the right questions. That's going to increase your closing ratio. Asking the right questions without a doubt, unequivocally, will, let me, look, you might want to take a picture of that one. You might want to hold that one. Increase your close ratios. And most sales training courses do not cover the subjects of questioning techniques and questioning strategies in their curriculum. They do not cover that. Most don't do that. But here at Team PPI, it's an honor and a privilege to serve you and do this. And the reason I do it isn't because my competitors are not doing it. It's because I didn't have it. And I may have left a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million or more on the table because I didn't have it. And that doesn't have to be you because you're here. You're already a winner. You're already a champion. You're watching right now. You're listening right now. You're in this conversation, and that potential inside you is ready to bubble right up. Your sales team is right there. They need this information. Maybe if you are the sales team, you need this information. And even if you don't believe that you can really fully get closed questions, open questions, strategic, tactical questions, powerful questions, outcome questions, or follow-up questions, even if you don't believe you can get those, I want you to know this from the bottom of my heart. The Shay Brown, I'm going to hold the belief for you. And every time there's any doubt, the question I want you to tell yourself is, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Just say Shay Brown. You can even put that on the mirror if you want. Put a big sticky. Shay Brown holds the belief for me. Because I'm going to hold the belief for you until you get there. Because you can do it. And I know it. I believe in you, the entrepreneur. You, the person that got into this industry to help other folks. Yes, I believe in you, and I'm going to hold that belief. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share 3 things if I can. Number 1, be humble. Always serve. Always help. Don't come from an ego perspective. Come from a service perspective. Number 2, stay hungry for information. Stay hungry for knowledge. Stay hungry to get better. Always, always, always continue to work on yourself. And number three, hear me, always hustle. Give your best every opportunity you have. You be humble, you stay hungry, you always hustle. And I promise you, the best is yet to come. I promise you, you made it through your worst days, and there are better days ahead for you and your team. You will build your 7-figure sales team. You will train them to ask the right questions, and you will make more sales with less effort. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the sales cardiologist. Make it a great day, everyone. And we're going to make good things happen. We connect again next time. I'll see you soon.